Hello, and welcome to day one of the $100 to $1,000 challenge. So today we're going to be looking at Shopify. Market's been open for about 5 minutes now. I personally don't like to trade within the first 15 to 30 minutes. Let the market just do what it's going to do, see where the levels form, and proceed accordingly. So let's get the indicators turned on. So we've got support and resistance, we've got the flow, and we've got the trend. Oh, there we go. Just took a minute to load. Okay, so all the time frames are on. So let's turn off a couple of them. We'll leave the chart on. We'll change this to the 1 hour, and we'll turn off time 3 and time frame 4. Okay, so Shopify right now. We have broken through support. We had support right here. So we've currently broken through it. This isn't a trade that I want to get into right now. It needs to find another bottom before we look at entering a long position. So let's check out Snap. Same thing here. Broke through support. Got 1 hour resistance up here. But this support now becomes resistance. You can actually see it was pretty strong support right through here. Alibaba. Same thing. It's like the whole market's down this morning. So we're just going to have to be patient and not FOMO into a short position. Because if we get in at the wrong time and it finds a local bottom and starts to go back up, then we've just lost money. So patience is key when it comes to trading. So right now we're just going to hang out and see what happens. Okay, so the SPY looks like it's finding a bottom right here. We do have the 1 hour support. But looking back, if you look right here, like it found support several times. What's the 5 minute doing? So 5 minute, even pre-market, it found some support right here, and it's showing 5 minute support. This support area is now formed. So it may not be a bad idea to enter along here, but with the market only being open 8 minutes, I do want to give it a little bit more time and see what happens. But if we close this candle above this EMA, then I'll probably enter. Let's see what the indicators are showing. So we've got the RSI that is going up. We've got money flow that is starting to curve to the upside. Our wave here is going up. So the 5 minute is looking bullish. Our VWAP is above the zero line and rising. What's the 15 doing? The 15, this light blue is breaking into the dark blue, which would represent a move to the upside. Our RSI is oversold and starting to curve up. Our VWAP's about to cross over the zero line. So the 15 minute is also looking bullish on the flow indicator. The trend indicator is still pointing down. So that's giving me some pause. What is that doing on the 5? The 5 minute, it is starting to curve, flatten out, and should start to move to the upside. What are the longer time frames looking like? Here's our support here. Longer time frames are looking great. RSI is going down, wave, money flow is going out, VWAP's below the 0 line. Which is okay, because the way I trade, I don't like to stay in a trade too long. I certainly don't like to hold overnight, because you never know what's going to happen with the after hours market. And if it doesn't go in your direction, there's not a whole lot you can do about it. So the price has started to retrace. But I'm liking this support level, just because it touched so many times. There and there. But we're not going to jump into a trade. We're going to just wait and see what happens. Market's only been open for 10 minutes. What's Meta doing? Okay, Apple's doing pretty good. But we're coming up to resistance. 15. Yeah, we got quite a bit of resistance right through here. So I wouldn't be entering this trade until we break through this resistance. And depending on the volume, I'd wait for it to retest and make sure that this new support actually holds as support. Amazon, this level of support is actually holding pretty well. Yeah, even the longer time frame, it's holding up. The longer time frame with support and resistance, the more weight it holds. You know, if you're looking at the 1 hour for support and resistance, it's going to be much stronger than if you look at the 5 minute support and resistance. So you always want to check longer time frames to see what they're doing. But being on the 15 and having the multi-time frame support and resistance on, we can see here is the 1 hour. We don't actually have to go to the 1 hour chart. And if you want to see longer time frames, you can turn on additional. Like if we wanted to see, say, the 4 hour. Here's our 4 hour. We can turn the other ones off so you can see it more clearly. So even the support on the 4 hour is pretty strong. So this is a good level with Amazon. VWAPs curving up, RSI's oversold, and it's starting to come back up. Let's look at Amazon. So these are the Amazon options. This is TD Ameritrade's Thinkorswim platform. This is what I use. So calls as if the price is going to go up, puts as if it's going to go down. So I like to go a few spots out of the money, and since we're starting with 100, we'd go ahead and buy this one if we were going to get a call. But let's see what the price does. Right now it's touching resistance, so we don't want to enter here. But the overall market is starting to go back up, so there's a good possibility that it will break through. Five-minute, looking pretty bullish here. This is starting to curve to the upside. I would like to see a push through this and a retest, but if it breaks through this resistance, I'll probably jump into a long. Yeah, we're just going to stay here for a few minutes and see what the chart's going to do, or what the price. Yeah, it's having a difficult time getting through this resistance right now. And this is why we use support and resistance so much. Because if you just look at this, yeah, I mean, it closed right on this EMA here. It's above the EMA on this candle. But if we weren't using support and resistance, you wouldn't know that it's getting rejected at this spot up here. you'd be kind of just trading blindly. This is a good idea why to always use support and resistance. Because this is where, institutions have their sell orders set and their buy orders. Okay, so we closed above the EMA on this candle, which is a good sign. We just need to break through this resistance. But our trend indicator is pointing up. I mean, everything outside of the RSI is starting to curve. But everything else is looking fairly bullish except this right here. And when I get into a trade, I'm looking at usually about a 10 to 15, maybe 20% return, depending on how strong the move is. But for the most part, I'm looking 10 to 15%. I've been greedy before and have absolutely got wrecked. I've blown up 2 or 3 of my accounts, and to have a few extra percent, it's not worth it. So we are through resistance right now, but let's see if we can hold. Got a few more minutes left on this candle. Okay, so we got to move with Amazon now. It's making a pretty good push through the resistance, but I still want to see where this closes. There's about a minute, 15 seconds left on this candle. And if it closes above this resistance, I'll go ahead and get into a trade. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get into a trade. We're going to long it. So we're going to buy a call. The ask is 91. I'm going to go ahead and send this down here. And we're going to buy 1. Okay, we're now in the trade. So what I like to do now is set where I'm going to take my profit. So I like to set my stop loss at 0.25. My target 0.5. I'll usually go between 0.5, 0.75. But if it drops, if it closes below this red zone, then I'll exit the trade. So now we sit and wait. Okay, so we're just looking at getting a 10 to 15% gain. So let's check and see where we're at. So right now we're actually just still even. So we're looking to get up just into this range right here. $10, but on $100, you're not really going to double your money unless there's a massive move. But when you start trading more, $1,000 turns into, $150 gain. So right now we're starting small. So we're just looking to get up into this $10 range, and then we'll take our profit. Okay, so now we're back up to this resistance level that formed off of this candle. So let's check and see where we're at. Okay, so now we're up 5%. So hopefully we can bust through this and squeeze out a little more. Okay, so there's movement. Let's see where we're at. Alright, so we're still at just a 5% gain. So we'll just keep holding out and see what happens. So my only concern right now is we are hitting this resistance. So it might be a good time to just exit the trade, take what we've got. Some profit is better than none, so sitting at a 5% gain, so let's just go ahead and sell. I just don't like this resistance that's formed on the 1 hour. It's going to be probably a fairly strong level. Alright, so we've jumped up to a 7% gain. So we'll just set let's just set our stop right there at 7. So if it wicks down, we get stopped out, but we're guaranteeing ourselves a 7% return. Okay, there's our 10%. So let's just move this up. So now we're guaranteeing ourselves 8%. How's the indicators? So our waves moving to the upside, just about to cross the 0. VWAP's leveling out, RSI is up. It looks like the trend indicator, nope, there's our order. So our order got filled. So we took about a 9% return on this trade. So took a little bit of time for not a huge return, but again, we're only playing with $100, so you can't expect a lot. The more you invest, the more you trade, the more you're going to make. But right now, we're just trying to turn $100 into $1,000. So I hope this was helpful. Be back tomorrow for day 2. And now we've got just a little bit more money to work with. Not much, but we'll get up to that 1,000. Happy trading.